Thank you for joining us, everyone. Today, we are joined by Adriana Rucks from Principia College Women's Soccer. How are you doing today, Adriana?
I'm doing great. Amazing.
That's good to hear. You came off a tough game yesterday against Westminster College, looking ahead towards Senior Day against Blackburn this weekend. First of all, what do you do on a recovery day on the day after a game?
Um, Depends on the game before and how tough it was. Sometimes we do some rolling or we have like a light practice. We watch some film. Uh, Today is just a completely recovery day. We don't have practice. Everyone does what they feel their body needs to recover. And yeah, it depends a lot on the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure now that we're month and a half into the season, kind of getting into the long season. I'm sure it's important to understand what your body needs to recover, for that big final push of the season. Can you talk a little bit about your seniors? You have four seniors on your team this year. Can you just talk about how they kind of welcomed you into the program last year as a freshman and what it means to have them as part of your program?
We actually have only two seniors.
Oh, okay.
I think one of them is coming back next year, which is
Oh, okay.
yeah, but the two of them is Viviani De Castro. She's a
Mhm.
midfield. She plays next to me. And the other one is Kaya Ufer. She's one of our defenders. They were both super nice as soon as I came last year. The whole team is super welcoming. That's like something that Principia has. Everyone is so welcoming. But both Viviani and Kaya were always open to help not only me but all the freshmen. We had like a really new group last
Mhm.
season where most of us were freshmen, and they were always making sure that we knew how to go to class or if we were balancing sports and academics. And it's always fun to be with them, and I'm excited to celebrate them on Saturday against Blackburn.
Yeah, and I'm sure they helped, not only with the soccer aspect, but coming in as a freshman, first of all, is can be a stressful time for anyone. Then coming in as an international student to a new country,
Yeah.
I'm sure that can be super stressful. How did you handle a new school, going to college, the transition from high school, prep school, new country, coming out of a COVID year? How did you handle that personally?
It was hard, and it's still hard, not gonna lie. Not being close to home, it's a change of culture, the language. It's always hard, but I feel like if you're willing to to study, to play sports and to balance, I feel like that's like how I got through my freshman year being international. I was willing and I was enjoying playing soccer, and I was also willing to put that sacrifice to do homework and stay up late. I was also like working. So I think it's up to the person, and it was up to me during that time to get through it. It was hard, like you said. Like after COVID, I finished my senior in high school. It's my senior year in high school. I finished it online, so it was a
Oh,
big
wow.
change to come here and just be present. New language, but I also feel like Principia and the team also helped a lot. They're always willing to just help and make you feel comfortable here. So that was a big help too.
Sure. And we mentioned it, the being an international student, but I don't think I've mentioned it completely yet. From El Salvador,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So tell us a little about your home, El Salvador. Do you get back there often?
I,
Um,
yeah. I've
yeah.
been I've been this past two breaks, winter
Okay.
break and summer break. I was there. It's a beautiful place, warm weather, it's cool views, landscapes, the beach, everything. It's so nice. I miss it.
Let's talk a little about soccer now. Midfielder. Midfielders don't always kind of get the recognition because you're in the middle, obviously middle of the field, but you're in that transition from the defense to the offense or from the offense, so you don't always get the glory, right? Last year you had 3 goals as a freshman. This year, no goals, but you got 2 assists. Uh,
Yeah.
what is it about the midfield position that you like playing best?
Probably being offensive rather than defensive. Uh, I just enjoy everything about it, just running around, knowing that I can be defensive and offensive, but I feel like I feel more comfortable and like happier, and just I love running and just going to the goal, even though I haven't scored this season. Badly. Maybe one is coming, but I just love passing around and just creating plays and seeing my teammates scoring this season.
Right. Yeah. Well, you got a couple more weeks to go to get that goal for this year. But speaking of goals, what was it like when you scored your first goal, first collegiate goal last season? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, it was home. We were playing Eureka. It was, I think, I just feel it wasn't real during that, like when it happened. It was not the best goal, I'm not gonna lie. It was a goal. But yeah, I just remember seeing the ball going like inside, like to the net, and then I looked around and I was like, oh, I just scored, and everyone was like, yeah, and all my teammates were coming up to me because I was also not used to celebrating goals back home with my last like we do celebrate, but it's not like a big deal, which is like clap and then go back. So then
Sure.
like all my teammates were running from the back of the field to me, and I was like, oh yeah. And it was fun. It was a good experience. Yeah.
That's funny. Speaking of that kind of different culture there with whether on a soccer field, can you talk about some other different culture things that kind of maybe surprised you when you came to America, or that you've tried to bring in from El Salvador and try and teach some of your teammates or some of your fellow students at Principia?
Um. Well, I think music has been a big part. Like in my team, like everyone is open to just listen to some Spanish songs, and that's fun because I get to listen to my music and they enjoy it. I'm not sure about like cultural difference that I've like experienced here, other than just like usual stuff like language, how people treat each other. Uh, Back home we're like really open and warm, like hugging everyone when you go and say hi to someone, even though you don't know them.
Hmm.
You go and give like a kiss on the cheek, and here people just like give you your hand. So those like mini details are like the only difference that I've experienced. But other than that, it's just similar.
Final question for you, Adriana. As I mentioned, I'm sure one of your goals for the next couple weeks is to get a goal, to get off the board there. But what do you hope to accomplish over the next few weeks for you and for your team?
Um, just have as much fun as we can. Try to get like more wins other than the ones we've had yet, and just try to play soccer and have like a good and organized system, or yeah, positions, which is something that we've been doing really good recently. We haven't had the scores sadly, but just enjoying the last like few games because I love being like in season, and just score more goals. Not for me, but for everyone.
That's right. Well, thank you again for joining us today, Adriana. Best of luck to you and your team the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you so much.